Today we're going to talk about criticism. I recently heard really great opinion about how to deal with criticism, and I thought that might be good to share that with you. I feel like lots of us always hear focus on the constructive criticism, don't take it personally, and what is I think wrong about that is that it's very hard actually to hear from someone that maybe you don't doing enough, maybe you are too slow, maybe you are this or that. It's very hard to hear negative opinion from someone else's mouth, and it's very human thing. When we hear that someone is not pleased with us, we are taking this as offensive, we are getting maybe even angry a little bit, and it's absolutely normal. I feel like this is so normal. Like, nobody likes to hear from another person that we are not good at something, you know. We like to think about ourselves, maybe not in the category of being perfect, but we like to think that we are capable of doing I don't know, basic stuff. So if at work we like to think that what we're doing is enough in our maybe job. So I feel like criticism can be really triggering for many people, and it's absolutely normal. And what I heard recently is that the best way to deal with it is to really think about it, that criticism doesn't really exist. This word criticism is just another word for saying that this is just someone's opinion. Someone is thinking something about you, that's their opinion, they're sharing that with you in front of your face most of the time, so they're criticizing you, but it doesn't mean that they are right. Their opinion, and this is very important because you need to realize people, they're always going to have opinions about you, they're always going to have opinions about everything. Not every opinion is right, not every opinion is true. That's so simple. It's the same with you. Not all your opinions are going to be facts. Not all your opinions are going to be actually true to the reality. Sometimes things makes our opinion because of our experiences, because what we went through in our life. So no person is going to have always the right opinion about everything. And now if someone criticizes you because you've done something or said something, this is just their opinion, and that opinion doesn't need to be true. Let's just talk about one example here. Your mother or your father ask you to go to the shop and buy them something, and you didn't do that because maybe you were late somewhere, maybe you were busy, you didn't manage to do that during the day. And then you're coming back home, or coming back to just say hi to them, or you're phoning them, and you said, I'm really sorry, I didn't buy that thing for you today because I just didn't have time. And then your parent, one of your parents, let's say, says, oh, you didn't do that for me because you are lazy. And I want you to just stop here for a second and think about this. You see, you know deep down that you just didn't have time, you know. You literally have no time, you were at work, maybe you need to pick up your kids, maybe something. Obviously, this is a very random example. For the parents, they don't really think what kind of responsibilities you had during that day. They just assumed, and that's their opinion, they have a right to have any opinion, that you are lazy. That you didn't do this for them because you are lazy. That's their opinion, and obviously they are criticizing you, and it might feel like, wow, I'm not lazy, you know. You're going to have this kind of first thing like, I'm not lazy, I've just had a really busy day. I don't think it's point to this is really up to you. I don't think there is a point to explain yourself to anyone. You can always say something like, you know, I'm sorry you feel this way, I had a busy day, I just didn't manage to do that, I can do that for you tomorrow if you still want to. But it's no point for you to explain or going to arguments with people about anything. It's just, I gave you an example, you know, but it's no point to argue with people about their opinion, because they have a right to have an opinion about you, and that opinion can be anything. and you really shouldn't get bothered by that. So for me, criticizing, when someone criticizing you about anything, you really shouldn't take it personally. Like, you shouldn't be bothered by it, because that's just someone else's opinion. Someone's opinion is not always a fact. That's the first thing, to improve your mindset, that not every person is going to have a right opinion about you. So it's no point to get offended. And even you, when you think about this, you have opinions about people, but you don't really know their whole story. You can criticize someone for doing something, but you don't really know why they're doing what they're doing, because you don't really sit in their head. So criticism, the best way to deal with criticism is openly accept that that's the person's opinion. That's not true. Sometimes we think that if someone criticizes us, it's really like, okay, I've done something wrong, it must be right. No, this is their opinion. And even at work, you know, your manager telling you about something, they might not be right about it. Maybe you couldn't manage that particular task on time because you needed to help another colleague of yours or something else, you know. But it's never so simple that someone is just going to tell you, oh, you're lazy, or you failed that task, or I can't trust you anymore, or something like this. People always going to have opinion about you. Those opinions not going to be always pleasant. Don't take criticism as a something that you need to accept, something that you now start thinking, okay, maybe that's how I am. Because as I'm saying, people always going to have opinions, and those opinions are not going to be always right about you. Many times they're actually going to be wrong about you. So criticism, even if someone thinks is positive because they're trying to basically change you, so they telling you something, oh, you're lazy, so they hoping that next time you're not going to be lazy. This is them trying to as well a little bit manipulate you. At work, if your boss tells you, oh, you didn't do that on time, or you could do this task twice quicker, this is just mean that he wants you to do it quicker, but it doesn't mean that it's right to do it this way. I want you to think about this, because we all struggle when someone criticizes us. There is no person in this world who like to be criticized. It doesn't work like this. We don't like to feel or hear bad things about ourselves, and that's a very human thing. But to deal with criticism is actually to understand that everyone has an opinion, and that opinion, it doesn't need to be correct about you. And you, when someone tells you something, you just repeat in your head, this is their opinion. This is their opinion. That might not be true. I will think about this later on when I'm maybe not in front of them. Don't get upset. Listen to them. Doesn't matter how painful it is to hear. Just repeat in your head, this is their opinion. This is just their opinion. It doesn't need to be true. I'm going to think about this, if what I've done is that really how it is. But don't get offensive. Don't reply straight away, being this kind of, oh, you know, but no, but because this happened. No, let people think whatever they want to think. You can always explain things later to them as well. You don't need to do it in the same second. But remember that not every opinion is right. And criticism, as much as we don't like to hear it, we're going to hear it during our life. And they're not always right, you know. Someone might say something about you and might be ridiculous, you know, but you might still take it personally. So don't do it. Just honestly deal with this in a very simple way. That's someone's opinion. I'm not going to take it personally. Think this kind of way. If someone even attack you and saying, oh, you are this and that, in your head, this is their opinion. They have a right to their opinion. It doesn't need to be true. And you can repeat that 20-30 times in your head when they're still talking to you. But at least you starting changing your mindset. You starting to stopping yourself going into argument with them, because there is no point. Because if someone sometimes have set opinion about you, or if they're thinking certain way about you, they're not going to change their mind just like that, you know. Many times people look at you through their own perspective of life, through their own experiences, through the everything they have, what kind of problem they have in life. That's how they're going to look at you as well. There's not many people in this world who have really clear mind, and they're very realistic, and they are just able to separate facts from emotions. There's not many people like this in this world. So always if someone tells you something, there's going to be some kind of emotion involved in it. And for you to receive a bad information, the best to deal with it is to listen to that person, don't get arguments, and just remind yourself that everybody has an opinion about me. Not every opinion is going to be a fact. Move on from that. You can always explain, as I said, you don't need to do it straight away. You can always explain in another occasion why you don't agree with something, if you really feel like there is a need to do that. But know that this is, again, they don't need to take it on board. They might truly believe what they said to you, that it's true, even though it isn't. So I hope it just shows you that every criticism is someone's opinion, and you don't need to agree with every opinion someone have about you. And that's so simple. The tricky part is to catch yourself, not to get argument with people, to catch yourself like in head when someone criticizes you, just to repeat yourself in head, that's their own opinion. It's not a fact. I can deal with this later. I can meditate on this, I can process that information later on, but it's no point for me to get upset, get angry. The best what I can do at that stage is to stay calm and process that later. I know it can be hard, but once you learn to do that, you're going to see that other people's opinion is not going to affect you so much. Okay, I hope this video, it was a little bit helpful for you. I know we don't like to deal with criticism, but if you actually start swapping this word criticism just for someone's opinion, you're going to see that it's easier to deal with that as well.